तो लोग नहीं लेते।
Hello everyone. Is the audio and video clear? Is the audio and video clear, everyone? All right, so let's start. Do you all have your materials ready? Are you all going to draw with me? Please use the comment box to send your answers. Okay, so let's start our dot mandala beginners class. So a dot mandala is a different kind of mandala where we use dotting tools like these, and we place dots and strokes using acrylic paints. All right. So generally we place the strokes along a grid, right? What is a grid? A grid is a combination of lines and circles, right? So the grid is drawn temporarily in pencils, okay, and we erase that after finishing the mandala, right? So that is a grid. So that grid helps us to get a symmetrical pattern throughout the circle, okay. So first, today what we are going to do is we will practice some basic strokes using dotting tools. Okay. So generally, I suggest everyone to use Fevicryl brand acrylic colors. Okay, why? Because these colors have nice consistency. They are not too thin and not too thick. They are the perfect consistency that we need for dot mandalas. Okay, if the color that you are using is very thick, or if it is tube color, then you will not get proper long strokes. Okay, so the color has to be of right consistency. Then your strokes will be good. So, if you are also following with me, if you all have your materials ready, you will need your A4 sheet, any color, and any color. By that I mean is any shade. All right, acrylic colors, any shade, and dotting tools. Okay, if you don't have dotting tools now, you can also use backside of paint brushes. Okay, those are also round at the bottom. You can use that, or you can use cotton buds or anything which has a round bottom like this. Okay, so first I will show you some plain regular dots. So this is a dotting tool. It has two sides. Okay, one is bigger one is smaller one, like that. There are many different sizes here. So how to use this tool is, you dip the circular portion in the color, all right, and then you place it on the paper. All right, since this tool has a round end, it can be placed in any direction. You can place it like this, you can place it vertical, it can be placed in any direction. Okay, since it is round at this end. So let's place a dot. See how much of paint I have on my tool here. All right, then you just place it on the paper and lift. Okay, after placing it on the paper, do not move your hand. Okay, do not move your hand after you are placed, otherwise it won't be a proper circle. Okay, so the dot should be circular. See, no matter how I'm putting it, it is coming out as a circle. Okay, is it clear to everyone so far? Please type yes, no in the comments. If you have any questions, you can ask that also in the comment in the chat box. Type out whether you have understood till here. Yes? Okay, perfect. Now we will practice a regular long stroke. Okay. For that, you will again dip your tool in paint, put the tool on your paper, and drag the tool in a straight line. Okay, until the paint finishes. Okay, until there is no more paint left on the tool. Till that time, you will drag the stroke. So this is a regular long stroke in a straight line. Okay. Same stroke we can do bottom to top also. When we are doing straight strokes, it should be straight all along, not crooked or anywhere in between. And you have to continue the stroke all the way to the end. Okay, you cannot stop in between. And also, for each and every new stroke, you have to dip the tool in paint. You cannot dip it once and draw two or three strokes. For every stroke, you have to dip it. Okay. Now we will see a C stroke. What C stroke is? Just the same thing. Place your tool and draw a C. Okay, this is a C stroke. Same in other direction also. Then bottom to top. Like this. This is a C stroke. So by just combining these dots, regular long strokes, C strokes, we can create many number of mandala art designs, many amount of dot mandalas. If you notice any dot mandalas, they all have the same basic strokes. It is just that how you combine these and how you create a pattern that makes each mandala different. Otherwise, basic strokes are the same everywhere. Now we will see an S stroke. Okay, for an S stroke, the upper portion of S will be smaller one and the base will be bigger. Okay, I'll show on this marker. The upper part of the S is small and the base is bigger. Okay, this is an S stroke. Same for the opposite direction. So generally, where we use the S stroke is, for example, I have a flower here. Okay, a dot mandala flower here, for example. So in last layer of this flower, I will use S stroke. Okay. So S strokes are generally very long. So see, when if you want your stroke to be long enough, then you will dip the tool even further in paint. Okay, so that the stroke will be longer. Dip it even further in the paint. Now I will show you an S stroke. Okay, that is an S stroke. Now also, if you are not getting very long strokes, that means that your color is very thick and you need to add diluent in it or water. Okay. These are S strokes, C strokes, and regular long strokes. Then dots, plain regular dots. Okay. Please let me know. Are you all drawing with me or are you just watching right now? Okay. So next we will see a trail of dots. Trail of dots. Okay. I'll draw a trail first and then explain about it. This is a trail of dots. You can see the first one is the biggest and the last one is the smallest. So it is a gradual decrease of size of dots as I do the stroke. This is also a stroke, but it is called a trail of dots. Here is a close up. So how do you do this is again like for every stroke that we do, you will dip the tool in paint, right? Then you will place the first dot, okay? Then you will keep placing the dot continuously until the paint has finished on the tool, okay? So that is a trail of dots. So again, same thing, we can do this in many directions, top to bottom, bottom to top, in a C form also, okay? In those same methods, we can do the trail of dots also. I'll show all one by one. This is a top to bottom, then this one is a bottom to top. So you have to continue doing the placing the dots next to each other until the paint has finished on the tool. Okay, you cannot stop in between. And also, for example, if you don't like the stroke, if the dots are too small, then you cannot do over it again. Okay, you cannot do. See what happens when I'm doing over it again. All of the dots are connecting with each other, and therefore it is of no use. Okay, so be it the trail of dots or these C strokes, long stroke, any of the stroke that I've done till now, you cannot redo them. If they go wrong, then you have to take a wet cloth and wipe away the paint. Okay, you cannot do over it again. All right, now I will show the C stroke also in a trail of dots. Okay, that is a C stroke. Same in other direction also. Now S stroke में हम ये नहीं करते, okay? In S strokes we do not do a trail of dots. S stroke only in regular strokes. Is it clear to everyone so far, and is my language and my method easy to understand for everyone? Because I think many of you are beginners, so I want to make it as easy as I can. Yes? Okay. Also, let me know in the poll that are you a complete beginner or have you practiced dot mandalas before? All right. Now see, generally dot mandalas are done on MDF boards. Okay, MDF board is a wooden board which has a smooth surface. So generally all of the dot mandalas are done on such a board. But today, since we are learning, we will practice it on a A4 sheet. Okay, A4 paper. Now let's start doing a mandala. Okay, a very small, nice mandala. So on your paper, we will draw a grid first. Okay. So do one thing with a scale, draw a straight line. I'll show how. Now first make sure that you draw a base line from one end of the page to the other, and it should be straight. Okay, it should be a straight line. Now what we will do is we are going to create a dot mandala of 10 centimeter size. So for that, somewhere in the page in approximate center, or just do one thing, we have this line here, right? So we will divide that line in half so that we have a center at least. Okay. So my page is 21 centimeters. So half of that is 10.5, right? I think it should be the same for you if you are using A4 size paper. So at 10.5, I will place a dot. So that dot is center of my page. All right. Now I want all of you to draw a circle of 5 centimeter radius. Okay. You will take 5 centimeters. All right. 5 centimeters gap here. And from that center, draw a circle using pencil. Okay. Don't use pen for this. With a pencil, you will draw a circle. I'll wait 2 minutes for everyone to finish. Okay, now we will need protractor. Okay, we need a protractor for dividing the circle in equal sections. Okay, for that we need a protractor. So there are different measurements that we take on protractor for drawing a grid. So generally, for very big boards and boards which are like 12 inches or 24, 36 inches, we take 10 degrees of measurement for the grid lines. Okay. For a smaller board, we take 20 degrees. Okay. So for now, we will take 20 degrees of measurement for the protractor. So by that, what I mean is you will place your protractor like this, align the 0 and 180 with the straight line that you have drawn before. Yes, Monali, the measurements are this circle is 5 centimeters in radius. Okay, 5 centimeter in radius, and for the grid, we will take 20 degrees of measurement. Okay, so you align the center of your protractor with the center of this circle. Okay, then 0 degree and 180-degree on the base line, on the straight line that we have drawn before. Now what you will do is at every 20-degree alternate you will place a point. Okay, so first we place at 20 degree, then 40, then 60, 80. So we just keep adding 80, sorry, 20, 20 every time until we reach 180. Okay, I think those who have drawn mandalas before, they know what a grid is. Okay, so you have to place just small points on those marks, which are all 20 degrees apart. Okay, now with the scale, a small scale will be okay for this. You will place the scale such that it passes through the central point, okay, center of circle, and the points that we have just placed, okay. So one by one, from every point we will draw a line, okay, passing through the center of circle, and this line should be within the circle, okay, don't drag it outside the circle, just inside, okay, like this. So like in this way, we will draw a line for each of these points. Okay. We don't need these side lines. We will erase them. If anybody has any doubts, any questions, feel free to ask anytime. Okay. And please type done after your grade is ready. Okay. After your grade is complete, please type done. Done. Okay. Now, next we are going to draw the circles of the grid. So for the circles, what you will do is you will take your scale. The 0 centimeter mark of the scale will be on the center of your mandala, okay, on the center of your circle, okay, and on any one line, align the scale and mark the points 1 centimeter, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the circle, okay, and then using these points, we will draw circles inside, okay. So 1 centimeter is the general measurement that we take for all the circles inside any size of mandala. Okay, any size of mandala. Generally, we take 1 centimeter. Okay, so your grid should look like this. This diagram here, a combination of lines and circles, all in measurement are is called a grid. Okay, so no matter what kind of mandala you do, a mandala in pens or a dot mandala like this, a grid is compulsory, and all of the grids look the same. Okay, no matter what kind of mandala you do, the grid is always the same like this. Now, for selecting the colors, when you do mandalas, you have to select colors, right? So, generally, we use very few colors, only 3 to 4 colors maximum. Okay. Now, for example, I am taking 5 shades, one of that is orange. You can use multiple shades of orange, light orange, dark orange. Okay, that doesn't count as a different color. You can use shades of the same color, but maximum of different colors is 3 or 4. Okay, only that many colors will look good. Too many colors will make the mandala too cluttered and it will not look good overall. Okay, so I want you to select any 2 or 3 colors of your choice. Okay, any colors that you like for our dot mandala. Okay. Okay, I'm taking these 3 pastel colors: lavender, very light pink, and mint green. Okay, these are the 3 colors that I'll be using for my mandala here. Are you all ready to start mandala? Please type ready if you are. And yes, of course, you will also need water to clean the dotting tools. Okay. After you are done using the tool, you have to immediately wash it and wipe with a cloth and keep it aside ready to use. Okay. Do not let the paint dry over it. Okay. Do not let the paint dry. Same goes for your paint brushes also. Now I also want to show you the flat dotting tools. Okay. So see, these are the tools that I showed previously, right? These are dotting tools having round tips. Okay, the tips of these are round on both the ends. Then there are these flat dotting tools. Okay, so they are completely flat. They are round and flat. Okay, so these tools are used for drawing the main central dots. Okay, for example, I'm drawing a big flower here. For example, take this flower. So for drawing the big central dot, we have to use flat dotting tools like these. Okay, you cannot do that with the smaller round dotting tools. So we need this generally in the center of mandalas and in the center of bigger patterns. Okay, so now I want all of you to circles. So with your pencil, you will mark the circle from center to outwards. The first circle here is circle number 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the outermost. Okay, 1 to 5. So these are our circles. I will mention you where to do what. Now, with a flat dotting tool, which is the biggest in size, we will place a dot in the center. Okay, in the center we will place a dot. Now see, since these tools are flat, you cannot place it from an angle. Okay, you cannot place it from an angle. It has to be exactly vertical to the page. Okay, then only your dots will come out good. And when you place the dot, dip this part in paint. You don't have to dip it too much behind, because after all, only the paint which is on this part will go over your mandala, right? So do not dip it too much, just a little bit. and when putting it on the paper, it has to touch nicely and from all the sides over the page. Okay, not at any angle, exactly vertical. So let's start. I will be using, let's say, blue color in the center. Okay. Now see, I have dipped my tool in the paint. A drop is falling. Okay. See, completely it should be covered. Okay. So it is completely covered. I want to dip it again as the drop has gone. And now we place it nicely on the center. All right. So like that we have our center dot here. Now, for example, now this dot is very flat. You know, it is very flat. So I want to add more color over it. Okay. So now what I will do is I will again dip the same tool in paint, but now with the corner, I will put the dot, put more color in the center. Okay. I'm just putting more color in the center. It will eventually spread all over. Okay. It will spread throughout the dot. So with this angle, place some color in the center of the dot. Okay. Then it will be nicely round and plump. And see, now I'm done using this tool, so immediately you will wash it and then wipe it with your cloth. Make sure it is nice and clean, ready to use again. And also put the cap on your color. If you leave it open, it will dry a little bit and it will get very thick. And if it is thick, our strokes will not come out nice. Now, uh, we need strokes of various lengths in our designs, right? All of the strokes cannot be of same length. So for that, there are these different sizes of tools in a set. Okay. So how to decide the size required stroke? For example, I want my next pattern to be a continuous stroke starting from circle number 2 going inwards to circle number 1. Okay, so that will be a 1 centimeter long stroke. So for beginners, what you will do is on your rough paper, you will check that which tool gives you how long of a stroke. Okay, so I'm using next color, which is this lavender color. So I will check which tool gives me correct length of stroke. So let's try this one. Green colored tool, smaller end. Okay, smaller end of the green tool. Dip it in the paint and check how long is the stroke. Okay, you see this stroke is pretty long. Okay, this one is giving me a stroke longer than 1 centimeter, so that will not work. Okay, so I need to take even smaller size of tool. So again, I will wash it first, keep it aside, then I will take my next tool. So smaller than this one is, keep it near and then compare. So this one, the smaller, 1 second, sorry, the bigger side of the yellow dotting tool, okay, yellow wala tool, bigger side, that one is little bit smaller as compared to the green one, okay. So let's check that. And how do you know your stroke is correct? The tail of your stroke, you know, the ending parts of your strokes should be very sharp. Okay, I will show you a rough diagram of a stroke. Okay, see, this is the head, this is the tail. The tail should be very pointed and very sharp. Okay, that means your stroke is correct. Okay, so you just have to keep dragging your tool until the paint is finished and you have a nice sharp tail. Okay, then you know your stroke is correct. Okay, now back to the stroke. I'm checking the tool here. Okay, Now this tool is giving me correct length of stroke. Okay, so let's use this one. It can be a different tool for you, as we don't all have the exact same consistencies of color, right? So that also matters for stroke length. Now what I want you all to do is, from circle number 2 inside towards the center, circle number 1, we will do a long stroke. Okay, which ones? Ye wala, the simple long stroke. Okay, and the stroke will be on these grid lines. Okay, you can see these pencil lines that we have. Only on those spots you will do the strokes. Okay, if you are not sure, I will do a few and give you a close up. We are doing a very simple, very beginner friendly mandala today. Okay, here is a close up. Okay, the color is very light, so it might not be clearly visible. For each and every stroke, you will dip it in the color. The process is very relaxing and very satisfying. If you have any stress, any you want some peace, then you can just put your paper and colors and start dotting. Okay, you can start dot mandalas, and it is very satisfying, very stress relieving. After every use, wash the tool, put the cap, and then we will move further. So I'm waiting for everyone to finish your first layer of strokes. Okay, whenever you're finished, please type done, and then we will start with next. Also, all those who are watching, please drop a like on this video. Please press the like button. All right, next, what we will do is we will do one more of the same stroke, but this time it will be from the center to the outside, okay, in reverse direction, and you will take third color for this, okay. My color number one is this pink, color number two was this lavender. So my third color is mint green, okay. Take your third color, whichever you have selected, and then same stroke but opposite direction, and that stroke should end on this circle number 2, okay. It should not go outside this circle. If you are getting very long strokes, and if the stroke is going outside the circle, then you will need to take even smaller size of tool, okay. And if it is very short, then bigger size of tool. So dot mandalas are generally done on a color background. Okay. So most of those are black background, and then there is the grid in white pencil. Okay. And then you do the mandala in any colors that you like, or sometimes there are colored backgrounds also. Yes, I will give you a close up. Here is a close up. Okay, next we will do a dome pattern. Okay. So what a dome is, I'll show you on my rough paper first. So in a dome pattern, okay, DOME, dome, there is a big dot in the center, okay. Then there are these C strokes around this central dot, okay. So first there is a dot in the center, then there are more dots around the center, and there are generally 2 to 5 or 6 layers of these dots, okay. So the dots keep getting bigger in sizes as we go away from the central dot, okay. So this is a dome pattern, okay. We are going to do this next. Now, in a dome pattern, you see in the C strokes, they are completely round, right? But in a dome, first we place the dots in a straight line and then we curve at the bottom. Okay. First we place a few dots in a straight line, then curve at the bottom. Okay. That is the correct way to do your domes. Now, I know it will be difficult for some beginners, so I will do one complete dome here and then you can follow. So, as you already know, first we need a central dot, right? So, for the central bigger dot, we will need a flat dotting tool, a flat one like this. So, I think let's take this one. Hmm. In this set, you will have a purple colored dotting tool, right? So, take that one for our central dot. We can call it as running dots also. Yes, you can call it running dots also. Yes, there are many names to it, but it is just the same thing. You can call it anything that you like. So next we will place central dots for the domes. They are the base of domes, but it will be on alternate grid lines. Okay, I will just place the dots and show. Also, you see this starch forms on the rim of the bottle, right? So we don't need that. If this comes along with the dot, it will be very bad and it will be difficult to remove that dot. Okay, so remove it first and then start with the process. First, I'll place the dot on this cross section. Okay, what cross section? I'll give you a close up. So this is my circle number 3. Okay, so on the circle number 3 and where the grid line and circles are touching each other, right? This cross section, there you will place the dot exactly in the center. Okay. Now we are not placing it on each and every cross section. Okay. We will place it at alternate ones so that there is enough space for the trail of dots or running dots. Okay, see I have placed the dots on alternate sections. Now I'm using my second color for the first layer of dot. So for that I will take let's take mint green or let's take some darker color. I'm going with the fourth color which is aqua blue color. Okay. So now the first layer of dots will be smaller one, right? It will not be very long in length. So we will need a medium size of dotting tool, not too big and not too small. So for this one, let's take the कौन सा ये हाँ let's take white color tool bigger side. Okay, white tool bigger side. So see I place okay, so it should be in the center and little bit higher, not exactly very near to the our central circle. I'll place it here just near the next circle. Okay, then I've placed my first dot here, central dot. Again, I will dip my tool in the paint and then I will start the trail. Okay. So first a few dots will be straight, then a curve. Okay. Same on the and please note there should be sufficient visible gap in between any two dots. Okay, there should be sufficient visible gap in dots. It should not touch each other and also The trail of dots should not touch the central bigger dot. Okay. Now you see my first few dots are in a straight line. Okay. And then from this point, they are in a curve around the central dot. Okay. That is the right way to do domes. Now this is the first layer. We will also do one second layer around this. Okay. But let's do the first layer for all of the dots. Is it clear to everyone how you are supposed to do the domes? Not only those who are doing, but also those who are watching. Is it clear to all how to do the dome patterns? And you also have to be careful when you do any of the mandala patterns that you should not touch by mistake any of the previous dots. है ना? With the tool or with your hand, you have to be careful. Clear? Okay. Can you tell me the tool again? Yes, the tool is bigger side of white dotting tool. Okay, for the first layer. And for the central bigger dot, it was the purple tool. Okay, purple flat tool. If anybody has any doubts, feel free to ask. Okay, I'll answer as soon as I can. Dots have to touch fourth circle. Yes. So the first layer of dot, it is not exactly touching the fourth circle, but little bit below the circle. Okay. It is just near the border. Okay. It is not exactly touching it. So I have completed the first layer. Here is a close up. Tell me one thing, are you all enjoying the class so far? I hope everyone is enjoying it. So I have a query. I have a few camel colors. It's thick. How can I make liquid consistency? Okay. So yes, camel colors are generally very thick. So what you can do is either you can add a diluent in it, you get it ready made, okay, or you can add a few drops of water. All right. I'll show you the diluent that I use for my colors. This one. It is called Camel Medium One. Okay, Camel Medium One. This is the diluent. So you can add a few drops of this directly in your color, mix it up nicely, and then you can use it. Okay, or you can just go with a few drops of water for now. Yes, enjoying. Okay, good. Now we are going to do second layer of dots. Okay, I think two layer will be fine for this size of mandala. So now we will need a bigger stroke, है ना? We will need a much longer stroke because we have a lot of distance to cover, correct? So now we will take 1 second. Let me check this. Okay, so let's take this one, bigger side of green dotting tool. Okay, bigger side of green dotting tool, and you can take any color that you like, but any color which is not used so far in this pattern. Okay, so I will be skipping pink and this blue color, and I'll take next color. So I think I'll go with this lavender, or let's go with this mint green. Again, same process. The first dot will be on the grid line, and then we will do the trail. We will continue it. Few dots in a straight line, and then next dots in a circle. Okay. Now this dot is little bit above the fourth circle. Okay, above the fourth circle. Now 1 second. Let me give you a close up. When you are doing this stroke and the second stroke, it should remain within this grid line. Okay, you see I have a line here in center, so these dots should not go beyond this line. Okay, otherwise there will not be sufficient space for the stroke of this side, right? We need the strokes to be symmetrical and equal, so keep the dots within this line. Okay, there is this line dividing the space in equal, so let's keep our pattern in the designated area only. Okay, can we use dark colors like red, green? Yes, yes, you can use any colors that you like. Okay, all of the colors that are there in the universe you can use. 1 second, let me focus the camera. Hmm. Now also you have to be careful that your hand does not touch any of the previous dots by mistake, because dot mandalas take 24 hours at least to dry only on the surface. है ना? The bigger dots take 3 to 4 days to dry. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you do these patterns. Also, make sure that your current layer that you are doing, current layer of dots, does not touch the previous one. Okay, there should be clear visible gap in between the dots. If you are enjoying the video so far, please press the like button. Okay, so my second layer is complete. You can see how by combining just very simple patterns, right? The big dot, then a regular long strokes, running dots, right? Just by combining simple patterns, we can create a very nice looking mandala. And there is no limit to how many patterns you can design. It is limitless. You can create as many patterns as you want. Just keep experimenting. Here is a close up. Do you like the mandala so far? Do you like the design? How we are going further? Now you see there is one mistake here, right? That mistake is, since all of my colors are very light, my background should have been black, right? So that is how color combinations work. The background should be having very high contrast with the colors that you are selecting. Now since we are doing this on a paper, I obviously selected the white one. But if you are using lighter colors, then dark background. If light background, then dark colors. Okay, the contrast has to be high so that your patterns are clearly visible. All right, now we are going to complete this mandala. We will do one more pattern in this space that we have here. Okay, here we will do a flower in a long strokes. Okay, in long strokes we will do a flower. I'll show how one by one. So first, all of the strokes of the flower will be regular long strokes, and the central one will be the longest, right? Since we are doing it from the top and going all the way down, the first one, the one in the center, will be the longest one. Okay. So for that, you will take bigger side of blue tool. Okay, bigger side of blue tool. Now what you will do is, see, I have this starts over here. You have to remove it every time. Dip the tool in paint nicely. Then now what you will do is, on circle number 5 on the boundary of our mandala, you will place the tool, okay, and then drag it towards the center of your mandala, all right, on the grid line, like that. Okay. Now you will do this for all of the spaces. Okay. Place it nicely and drag it in a straight line. All right. Now for the straight line, you can use the grid line as the guidance. If you want, here is a closer. And also, do not rush to finish the strokes. Okay, don't do the stroke in a very fast motion. Move your hand very slowly so that it is uniform and the transition from head to tail is uniform. Okay, move your hand pretty slowly. Those who are just watching for now, it's fine, but afterwards you can rewatch that recording again on the same channel and do the mandala. Okay, please don't just watch. There is a lot of difference in just watching and doing it in your own hand. Okay, so later on, whenever you get time, please rewatch the class again and do the mandalas. Okay, and then share in the group. Okay, sharing in the group. So the central one is done. Of okay, central part of flower is done. Now next, what we will do is, we will do a C stroke around this central one on both the sides. Okay, a C stroke. Now, not very round like this one. Okay, not very round one. I'll show how. I'll show. I'll draw one and show. It should be not very round. And also, this stroke will not start on the grid circle. Okay, little bit lower than the central stroke, like this. You will do the next layer of strokes. It should see, it is a little bit lower in height as compared to the central one, right? And the C, the curvature is very small. Okay, it is not very round, as you can see. Okay, on both the sides you will do one stroke. The same tool, yes. The same tool for this stroke. For the next one, we will reduce the size. And if you are getting very long stroke for this one, then you can go with one size smaller one. Here is a close up. Now, whenever you do mandalas, be it dot mandalas or regular ones, right, the pen mandalas, there should be some white space available, है ना, some negative space. So what that is? Empty spaces. Okay. For example, we have a little bit of empty space here. Okay. Now we are going to do the stroke, one more stroke here, but there will be some empty space above the domes, right? So that much of empty space is required. You don't have to fill each and every centimeter of the space. Okay, you don't have to fill each and every corner. If there is somewhat spaces in between the patterns, it will make the mandala look better. Okay, I will show you some of my bigger mandalas that I've done previously, so you will get a clearer picture of it. Okay, after we finish this mandala, okay, I'll show you some of my previous ones that are done on the MDF boards. Next, we will do a small stroke around the pink ones. Okay, the third stroke. Now see here the space is very less, right? And you can see the stroke cannot be very long as we have the dots below here, right? So you will take very small size tool for this one. So let me check. Okay, so let's take this one, the smaller side of green tool. Okay, smaller side of green tool, and now you will select the third color. Now how to select color is, see, we already have two colors used in the flower here, right? The purple color tool is here, the pink is here, and here we have green, right? So we have to check the surroundings first, which colors are there. Okay, so that we do not repeat the same. So we will take some color other than these three. So I will go with the this one, the blue color, this one that I used in the middle layer, the same color I'm using now. Now again, this is the third stroke, so it will be even lower in height from the pink one. Okay, even lower in height. Now even these long strokes should not touch each other. There should be fair visible gap. I don't see any questions in the comments, so I'm assuming that everything is clear so far. So here is a close up after doing the third layer. So this mandala here is complete. Okay, won't overdo it. We will leave this part and these small corners empty. Okay, so this is what you can do with just very simple strokes, you know. And with very easy methods you can do mandalas like these. Now I will keep this aside and show you some of my previous mandalas that are done on MDF boards. So here is one second. Here is one. It is Evil Eye Mandala board. Evil Eye dot mandala. It is done on MDF board. You can see it is a wooden board, circular. The background base color is black. Okay, and on top of it there is blue color scheme, and then white and golden color as highlights. Okay, this is Evil Eye dot mandala, and you can see this pattern at the end that we have done. It is the same that we have done here, right? It is a cross weave pattern. Okay, now there is one more here. It is fire inspired board. Okay, fire inspired. So there are colors of fire: orange, yellow and red. And again there are highlights using white and golden color. Okay, so in any dot mandalas, you can add highlights using white and golden color. It gives a very nice finishing touch to it. Now, if you notice, they are shining a little bit, right? The board is shining. So that is because of the varnish. Okay. After you finish the board, you have to apply at least 2 to 3 coats of varnish over it so that the paint seals away from moisture and dust, and it gives a very nice shine overall. Okay. So this is a fire inspired board. Then this one is my most recent one. Okay, my latest board. So this is done on color background. There are two colors in the background. Okay, then the mandala is done in all white colors. Okay, the mandala is completely white, and then at the end I have I've pasted some mirrors over it. This is a mirror dot mandala. So by the end of this week, on one second, what is this Sunday today, right? On coming Saturday and Sunday, I am planning a class for this type of mandala. Okay, where we do colorful base, then mandala in one color, then mirrors. Okay, so I'm planning a class on this by the end of coming week. Alright, it will be a 2 day class for this kind of mandala where we use mirrors. On the back also, you have to apply varnish. See, it is shining. So why? Because moisture can seep in from the backside also. Okay, and mold and fungus can develop. So you have to apply varnish. Only one coat is fine. Okay, for the backside, only one even coat is fine. But please do that. This is a hanger to like put it on the wall. So is the class clear to everyone so far? If you have any doubts, please ask everyone. It can be about anything, about the tools or the colors, strokes, great design, anything. Okay, it can be about mandalas. Anything that you have, please feel free to ask. Now, dot mandalas are not just limited to papers and MDF boards, but they can be done on various surfaces, even stones. Okay, I'll just show you in a moment. Let me get them. Okay, we have a question. What thickness of MDF is recommended? Okay, so these mandalas that are just shown, the three, the thickness of these mandalas, the thickness of this board is zero point 0.3 millimeters. Okay, 0.3 millimeters. But that is, I would say, practice level boards. Okay, if you are practicing, if you are learning, then go with zero point 0.3 size boards. Otherwise, for professional mandalas, we go with generally zero point 0.5 or zero point 0.8 boards. Okay, they are pretty thick boards. All right, but the more thicker board you get, the more expensive it gets. Okay, that point also you should note. The boards that I've shown you, all of those are 3 millimeters. All right. Yes. Now, as I said, you can do dot mandalas on various surfaces. So this is a dot mandala paper weight. Okay. So you can see how I have made dot mandalas patterns on these paper weight, or I can also call it a mandala stone. Okay. Then there is this tea light holders. There are these tea light holders that I've made. Again, you can see dot mandala patterns over these. And I've seen many people make wall clocks also. है ना? What they do is attach the machine in the center, the arms of the clock, and numbers on the sides. They make dot mandala watches also. So there are many applications to dot mandalas, and it is easy to learn. Okay, all you need is lot of patience and daily practice. Okay, and you also have to keep inventing, keep designing your own patterns. Okay, I've shown you all of the basic strokes that are there. Okay, by just combining these strokes, the long one in C strokes, dotted, the running dots, okay, the bigger dots, all of these you can combine and create any amount of designs that you like. Okay, so yes, can you mention the thickness? Yeah, I just mentioned the thickness. I hope it is clear. Are your doubts clear? All of those who ask questions, I hope your doubts are clear. Yes, and one more thing, the WhatsApp group that you all have joined, okay, that group is not limited just to this class. It is my very old group, and all of the members in that group are mandala art lovers. Okay, they are either students or they are either professionals. They are someone who are already mandala artists. Okay, it is a friendly community where we all create mandalas, share with each other, give and ask for opinions. Okay, and I also give all of everyone weekly activities. Okay, on every Monday, activities are given, which everyone tries to follow and create mandalas and submit within the week. So those are some weekly activities that we do in the group. And also all of my upcoming classes are announced in the same group. Okay, so it is not limited just to this class. It is an active community. Will the recording of this class be available? Yes, the recording of this class will be available after it ends in a few hours. It will be available on the same channel. All right, it will be available on YouTube forever. You can watch it whenever you like. And yes, please everyone complete your mandalas, and whenever finished, share it in the group. Okay, don't feel that I'm a beginner, my mandala is not good, I should not share. No, don't worry about that. It is a very friendly community, and everyone appreciates whatever you share. We all started somewhere, right? We all were beginners at a point, so don't feel shy about sharing your artworks. And also, if you want personal guidance, if you want more suggestions or corrections in your works, you can send it to me personally also. Okay, I will help you with that. Now, after at least 24 hours to 48 hours, the color will dry nicely. And then for this specific mandala that we have done, we will erase the grid lines. Okay, you will just take your eraser and move it very lightly. Do not press hard. With very light hand, you will erase all of the grid lines. Okay, then your mandala will be complete. Now, for black mandalas like these, we use white pencils in the grid. Okay, with white pencil, we will draw the lines and circles of the grid. And after it has completed, after the mandala is complete, sorry, With a wet cloth with wet wipes, you just move it over the pencil and it goes away. All right. So for that, I prefer watercolor pencils. Okay, you know watercolor pencils. So in that, with white color, I rather grade, and you can just wipe it away and it goes off very easily. And after you have erased the grade lines, then you can apply varnish over it. All right. And for a mandala like this, for a mandala with mirrors, first, you apply the varnish, right? Two or three coats of varnish when it has dried. After that, you have to apply mirrors. And you cannot apply varnish on top of the mirrors. No, you cannot do that. Mirrors are the last step in a mandala like this. So everything that I planned for this class is complete. I have shared it all. So in the next 5 minutes, if you have any doubts, you can ask. It can be about the group. It can be about me, right? Can you ask any questions that you have? Also, about me, I have been practicing mandala art for more than 6 years. Okay, and not just dot mandalas. Okay, I do all kinds of mandalas, digital ones, then pen mandalas, canvas mandalas, watercolor. I do all kind of mandalas, everything that you can imagine. And even in the group, the members do all types of mandalas. It is not just limited to dot mandalas. Okay, and also, if you do any other type of artworks, it can be Lipan art, Madhubani, or any kind of art, feel free to share in the group. We all love seeing different kinds of artworks. So we have a question. How much gap between each coat of varnish? Okay. So varnish, the varnish that I use. Okay, I'll also show you that one. Okay, Little Birdie Decor Varnish in gloss. Okay, this is the varnish that I use, and it will take at least 1 or 1.5 hours to dry. It dries pretty fast actually, but I think 1 hour of gap is fine between two coats. Okay, 1 hour of gap, but that will also depend upon the brand that you are using. Some brands take very long time to dry, and if you're doing spray varnish, then that is very fast. In just 15 minutes, you can do second coat. For liquid varnish like this, at least 1 hour is required. Okay. Any more questions? How many coats of varnish? So I think a minimum of 3 coats is required. Okay, because in first 1 or 2 coats, we will ensure that each and every corner is covered, right? But in the third, it will give us a nice, clear, and very smooth finish. So minimum is three, all right, and maximum should be 4 or 5, but more than that is not required. Three is fine. Do I need to leave the group after the class is ended? No, 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 you don't need to leave the group at all. The group is permanent. It has been so I opened it in around January, I think. Yes, so it is a permanent group, and it is my main WhatsApp group. Okay, it is a active community. You don't need to leave the group at all. Okay, You can just stay in the group, watch artworks, and share yours. All right, so I think I have answered everyone's question. So so I will end the class here. Thank you everyone for taking out your time and joining the class. I'm very excited to see what you have created. All right, so please after the class, share the image in the group, and if you want, you can also write your name on the side. So where is everyone from? Which part of India? Which city are you from? I'm from Pune, Maharashtra. Chennai, very nice. I'm from Tiruvananthapuram, Kerala. Nice, nice. Also, if you are going to post on Instagram, then tag me so I can check it out. All right, so I will end the class here. Did you all enjoy the class? Please let me know, guys, and let me know honestly, actually, whether you actually enjoyed it or not. Enjoyed, okay. All right, so I will end the class here now. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and see you all in the next class. Announcements will be made in the same group. Thank you all. See you later. Have a nice day.